Progressive lawmakers pushing the Biden administration to overrule the Senate parliamentarian after she advised against a proposed minimum wage increase.
They say, quote, 81 million people cast their ballots to elect you on a platform that called for a $15 minimum wage. We urge you to keep that promise and call on the presiding officer of the Senate to refute the Senate parliamentarian's advice. Indiana Congressman Jim Banks joins us now to weigh in. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so the White House said they're committed to this, but now progressives are going around every single person to get this through, and I want to know what the mixed messaging is all about in this situation.
Well, this is the biggest open secret in Washington and has been all along, that the $15 minimum wage was never going to be allowed to be a part of this COVID relief package. The progressives knew it, all of the Democrat leadership knew it, but they kept pushing it because they promised it during the campaign cycle. And they also know at the end of the day, the clock is ticking. They know what we all know, that Republicans are going to win back the majority in the midterm elections, and they've got to keep pushing these radical progressive ideas before they run out of time. So watch for them to get more radical as the days come, not just on $15 minimum wage, but on stacking the court and all of these wacky ideas that they promised during the election cycle, as they know the time is running out.
Okay, the $15 minimum wage is one thing, but you have roasted the porkiness, the other porkiness of this stimulus bill. Let's pop these things up on the screen that you and your individuals, the GOP there, many in your party have railed against. Number one on the list, the subway, $141 million for Nancy Pelosi's BART Silicon Valley extension. Of course, Chuck Schumer getting in on the act, getting his bridge for $1.5 million. $50 million for EPA environmental justice grants, $86 billion. A bailout with a B for union pensions, and $350 bailout for states. That goes mostly to the blue states like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Illinois, California. You mentioned 2020 in your answer earlier. Are you a little bit worried that come 2022, Democrats, if they're able to push some or all of those things through, can say, look, here's what we gave you, and really sort of harp on that Democrat line of, hey, we give you free stuff, you vote for us?
I'm concerned about the opposite, what this massive spending deal is going to do to the American economy and what the economy is going to look like by 2022. And the American people are going to realize they have no choice but to give Republicans control of the House and of the Senate after the Democrats passed this massive spending deal. That even Larry Summers, the Democrat economic advisor to Barack Obama, said that this deal will devalue the dollar and send our economy into a spiral if Democrats pass it. But Democrats know the pandemic is coming to an end. We have public health experts saying that herd immunity is right around the corner, and they've got to use the pandemic as an excuse to pass this wish list of liberal goody items to special interest groups that put them in power before the pandemic is clearly over. And that's why they're rushing it through. That's why they're still talking about changing and manipulating the rules to add the $15 minimum wage, because once again, they know the clock is ticking.
And then you warn that the GOP is destined to lose elections if it rejects Trump and his voters. Go into this a little bit.
Well, I mean, you hear Democrats and some in the left-wing media say all the time that there's a division in the Republican Party. And yes, there's like 10 Democrats who want to erase, 10 Republicans on our side who want to erase Donald Trump, who voted to impeach him. They look down on Trump's voters, and they say that those voters and Donald Trump don't have a role in the future of the Republican Party. That if we adopt that line of thinking, then Republicans will lose the midterm elections. We won't win back the White House in 2024. But if we recognize that those voters do play a role in our coalition, and if we recognize that the most important thing Donald Trump did for the Republican Party is make the Republican Party the party of the working class again, I believe we're going to be very successful in elections to come.
Rick Scott said the Civil War is over. Donald Trump at CPAC said, we're not forming a different party. It's this party or bust.